Roberts. I'm with CDL Mentors, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to do a proper pre-trip inspection with the CDL Mentors. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to know your language. Okay, we have 5 main acronyms that we use majority of the time. We have SM, BBC, ABC, NL, and AHIP. SM means securely mounted. BBC means not bent, broken, or cracked. ABC means no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. NL is no leaks. AHIP is all hardware is in place. So what you want to know is that anytime you're talking about any part on your truck, the first word you're going to say is SM, which is securely mounted. Anytime you're talking about anything made of hard plastic or metal, you want to say BBC, which has not been broken or cracked. Anytime you're talking about anything that's made out of rubber, you want to say ABC, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. Anytime you're talking about anything dealing with fluids or air, you want to say NL, no leaks. And anytime you get stuck, you could say AHIP. That means all hardware is in place. Nothing loose, nothing missing. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to know our 8 acronyms. We have our front approach of our truck, which is our LL. We have our 3 hard engine components, which is AWA. We have our 3 fluids, which is COP. And we have ABH, which is all belts and hoses. Our first L, the lights. Second, leans. Third, the leaks. Our A is for alternator, water pump, air compressor. The C is for your coolant reservoir, your power steering reservoir. Then we're going to move on to our steering system, which the acronym for that is PPDU. We have our power steering gearbox, our pitman arm, our drag link, our upper and lower control arm. We're going to move on to our suspension system, which is SLUS, SLUS. We have our spring mounts, our leaf spring, our U-bolts, and our shock absorber. We have our brake system, which is BBSBB. That's our brake hose, our brake chamber, our slack adjuster push rod, our brake pads, and our brake drum. And then, of course, last but not least, we have our wheels, which consists of our inner and outer rim, our inner and outer sidewall tire, the top of the tire, the lug nuts, the hub seal, and the valve stem. For example, whenever I'm talking about my lights, I would say my lights are securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked, clean, clear, proper color, and have no moisture in the lens. If I'm talking about the air compressor, I would say that it's securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked, all hardware is in place, and it have no leaks. Okay, so we're going to continue on with our acronyms. Right now, we're about to do the in-cab inspection, pre-trip inspection. Okay, so the first thing we want to start off with is our safety. The acronym that we chose for safety is SHFFT, safety. It consists of our seat belt, our horns, our fire extinguisher, our fuses, and our 3 triangles. Then we have swirl. It consists of our side mirrors, our windshield wipers, our heat and defrost, and our dashboard light indicators. Now at this time, we want to do something that's called a safe start. We want to start the truck up. And as soon as we start the truck up, we want to talk about our ABS light that come on and off on the dashboard, which leads us to our next acronym, which is AVOTA. A is the ABS light. V is for volts, your volt gauge. O is for your all gauge. T is for your temperature gauge. And A is for your air gauges, your primary and secondary air gauges. So once you completely finish talking about your gauges, you want to move on to your brake test. PSA, law and emergency brakes. We have our parking brake test, our service brake test, our applied brake test, our low air warning, and our emergency brake test. Now I'm about to explain a little bit how you perform a brake test. What you want to do for your parking brake test is you want to put your stick into a low gear. You want to make sure both of your brakes are popped out. Then you want to press down on your clutch, and then you're going to press in your service brake and check your trailer brakes. You're going to ease off the clutch just a little bit until you feel a tug. Then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to pull out your service brake and push in your trailer brake and check your truck brakes. You're going to ease off the clutch just a little bit until you feel a tug. Service brake test. What you're going to do is you're going to make sure that your stick is still in your low gear. You're going to make sure you're pressing both of your brakes. You're going to hold the steering wheel loosely, and you should go no more than 5 miles per hour without your steering wheel going to the left or the right. Then you're going to come to a complete stop and press on your brakes. Service brake test is done. Next, you have your applied brake test. What you're going to do is you're going to turn the engine off. You're going to put the key back in the on position. You're going to apply your foot to the brakes, and you should lose no more than 4 psi within a minute. You're going to count down from 60 seconds. Next, you have your low air warning. You're going to start fanning your brakes until you get to 60 psi. Once you get to 60 psi, your low air warning brakes and lights should come on the dashboard. Then you have your emergency brake test. You're going to continue on fanning your brakes until you get between 20 and 40 psi, and both of your brakes should pop out. After you finish your brake test, you want to do an external light check, which consists of the front, the driver's side, the rear, and the passenger side. We also do offer videos. We have booklets. We even have study guides of everything that you need to know about the pre-trip. Okay, I'm Ms. Roberts with CDL Mentors, and this concludes our inside and outside pre-trip inspection.